Welcome everyone, and this is our 9th webinar, 3PAE, as Africans share to Africans. So I'm Taiwa Phillips, manager 3P Nakivale and mental health team. We're based here in Nakivale as well. So today we are so much excited to be sharing about our topic, the importance of seed banks, 3P in Africa. And I will be having my co-host Sylvia as well. So today we shall still run a 10 minutes video of how seed banks are sharing, and we shall learn much together, and we shall see how the importance of seed banks has really changed Africa, has really made an impact to us as Africans. So before I go ahead, maybe I will welcome my co-host Sylvia to also introduce herself. Then I will give more highlight about what I understand, about my insights about seed banks. Then later we shall also play that video as well. I thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today, the live. We are excited once again to be on our webinar. We welcome all of you, just as Philip said. Philip spoke it all. Welcome to the 3P African Educators webinar. And I am Byamukama Sylvia Kagoda. I work in the northern part of Uganda, which is in a district called Kitgum. Yeah, so I'm also a 3P educator, and I love sharing it with others so that we can grow more. I'm excited for today's topic because we are talking about the man who is the reason to why we are all on this webinar. So I'm really excited to learn and to hear from you, to share with you what I also know about him and get more and more about him. It's an interesting topic, so I encourage each one of us to be alert and listen and share what we know, and we grow together. Let us have fun and enjoy the topic of the day. So thank you so much. I get it over back to you, Philip.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. So we are here to learn, we are here to share together, and we are here to have fun. So I would like to share much more about the purpose of seed banks, as I've come to understand about 3 principles, and I've seen how seed banks wanted the people to keep the purity of 3 principles. It was one of his major purpose, as also he uncovered a precious gift of 3 principles. Of course, it was really great. And he was also much more concerned about alleviating human suffering, which was major concern that has even helped us in Africa. So we have seen that he was the first person like to see 3 principles, and of course he called it love and understanding. And with this is the major part I've seen like in Africa, how it has been so important, love and understanding, the way he called it. Because with these 3 principles, we have come to learn about sharing. And we have seen there is no way you can share if you are not lovable or if you are not loving. So we have seen how it is very, very much important to understand about our consciousness, to understand how Seed Banks was really wiser teacher, like how he uncovered the 3 principles and how we came to know the 3 principles, also share 3 principles to other people in Africa and beyond. So Major, I would like to share much more about how he wanted people to understand much about love and understanding. And with this, after now understanding about 3 principles, of course, it was really something I was not like much into it. And I came to understand that all that was because it was as if I was not even loving myself. Now, when I came now to love myself, it uncovered like my wisdom, and now I started to explode into others. So now with this love and understanding, that Sid wanted. It was really a major point that it came now to alleviate human suffering, like how we are sharing into the refugee settlement here in Nakivale. We are seeing how we are in his purpose. And before, we didn't know about that. We didn't know about how human beings can like alleviate the suffering themselves. But now, by understanding love, by understanding forgiveness, by understanding about contentment, it has really been so much important that right now we are living ourselves. We are living the life that we see because we have understood about seed principles. We have seen the precious gifts that seed banks uncovered. So it is really an important topic to talk to, because what the purpose like seed banks saw many years ago, we are now also revealing them, and they are really working to us. So it has been sort of a practical way. Someone sees something, then you see yourself. By understanding it can help you, and at the same time you find it is even helping others. So that is what I see as a gift that Central banks uncovered. It is really now becoming a gift for Africa. Not only me as Phillips, not only Sylvia, but to many in Africa. And we are happy that this purpose, we are really still pushing it. So I would like to read something that I got from Sid Banks and how Seed Principles was. So he once mentioned that universal mind, universal consciousness, and universal thought are most definitely the principles that turn psychology from guesswork philosophy into a working science. So we have seen, like, if we live in a way of lying ourselves, if we live in a way of guessing, then we need to change. And we have seen how changing thought has been so much important. So I'm happy that Seed Banks really uncovered this, and we're alleviating human suffering for ourselves and for other people as Sleepy African educators. And really, people are getting healed, like in the refugee settlement. People are getting healed even beyond. So we are so much privileged for this show, and we are so much excited to share about Seed Banks today. So maybe Sylvia, if you have something also to add, you can add as we move ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, Philip. That was really interesting. It was really much to know about seed that we didn't know. So just adding on what you have said about love. Yeah, to me personally, according to the little I know about Seed Banks, after discovering the 3 Ps, when you look at his background, he was an adopted child. His education wasn't so much high. He didn't go to these professional things. And then when he got the insight of the 3 Ps, the divine mind, divine thought, divine consciousness, when everybody looked at him like somebody who is out of his senses, like his way of living changed, his actions, his talking, his characters, after discovering such an important thing. And then what makes me happy about it all, he never wished to keep it for himself. He always wanted to share it, to share what he had got. And he started becoming famous and popular, and he was being hosted by many people, and professors came to him. A lot of high rank people came to him seeking for advice, seeking for guidance. But what shocks me is he remained humble. He remained so humble, down to the earth. He never grew proud of what he had discovered, that after all, everybody is looking for me. I have the answer. I have what to tell them. So I have to. He never took himself so high, so proud, so hard to get. he never charged people for the sessions of advising them, you know. So it taught me something. It really touched me. Like somebody like Sid, after the books he had written, after all the good words that he had got out of the beautiful insight of the 3 Ps, he remained humble down to the earth, you know. And in him, he brought things like, you have the answer to everything. You have the answer to everything, you know. You just have to keep quiet and think inside you someone else is talking. You know, sometimes there is where you reach and you feel like it's too much, like everything that is going around you, it's very too much and you don't know what to do. And Sid says, you keep quiet and listen to someone inside you. There is someone inside you who is talking. So when you're also talking and making noise and you're busy doing this, you will never see him. No. So that quiet moment when you go silent and listen to the inner person inside you. See, so most of us in Africa, we don't have that. We always want to say something all the time. You know, even when you don't know what to say, you get what to say, even when it's not necessary. Even where you're not supposed to talk, you still talk something, as in Africa. But Sid teaches us that there are some moments where you have to just be silent and quiet and listen to the inner you. You don't need to talk all the time. You don't need to bring out your reasons all the time. Sometimes just give yourself a moment of silence. And then he brought up the thing of what you think is what happens to you. What you think is what you are. So that one includes the positive mind and the thought mind. The moment you think negative about you, definitely that is what you are going to be, because it's what you have fed your mind. It's what you have put in your mind. And the moment you think positive about yourself, it encourages you more to make sure that you get the positivity out of it. So most times in Africa, many times, most of the times we think negativity to our children, towards our parents, towards the environment we are in. We have a lot of negativity in us. We'll have a lot of, I'll never make it. If my grandfather didn't make it, I can't make it. If my mom didn't make it, I can't make it. If my friend didn't make it, then who am I to make it? It is full in Africa. Many of us follow that lineage. Whereby Sidney Banks says, the way you think is how you are. So if you think positivity and you're like, if my grandmother didn't make it, I can make it. If it wasn't able for my dad to make it, I can make it. That is the positive way of living. And it encourages you to get what you want in a good way, not in a bad way. So as Sid was still sharing about the 3 Ps, adding on what Philippa said about love, we tend to love people around us more than we love ourselves. That is very common here in Uganda. We love people around us more than we love ourselves. But to me, I think it is just wastage of time, because you can't love somebody else more than you love yourself. The love has to be starting with you. Then it goes to somebody else. You have to spread love through actions, through the way you speak, through the way you react. Basing on what Sid says about love, it shows you that the love you have for yourself, it's the way you want others to love you. If you want others to treat you well, love you well, take you well, do the same to them, which is very hard in Africa. In Africa, we want people to treat us well, get us well, hold us well, but then we do the opposite, which is not what Sid talks about when he says love. The way you love yourself, the way you want somebody to treat you well, do the same. If you wish to be well off, good and okay, wish the same to your friend. Yeah. So for now, I'm going to stop here. But in the process, as even we see the clip, the video of Sid Banks, maybe I'll come back later to add on this. Thank you so much, Philip.
Yeah, thank you, Sylvia, for the many people. And also we have to understand that people have different level of understanding, but he shared with many people, and this also happened here in Nakiva, like when we started the CP sharing. It started with 2-3 people, but now we are many. So we are seeing that we are really living the purpose of Sid Banks, and also understanding that we have different level. Sid was wiser, then you find someone is also not wiser like him. So like understanding is different. So we should also understand that Sid shared with many people, and also we have to understand that Sid experienced the true relationship with God. And also here in Africa, when we started now CDP teachings, people would not understand much more about God. They have come to understand much more about God, understand that everything we are doing, God is always there with us. But if we keep like complaining, if we keep saying that maybe it can't happen, then it can't happen. But understanding that our true relationship with God is always there. So it has been so much important.
Eho mai, eho mai, eho mai, ai, Aloha.
I really appreciate some of you people coming, especially from the far-off lands such as New Zealand, Australia, Britain, Ireland, and taking the risk coming here. What we'll be talking about, nobody knows. 29 years have gone by since I first had this experience. I've seen incredible, beautiful things happen to many, many people. And I know in my heart, we found the secret to the mind. And it's very simple, very, very simple. The more simple, the better. The secret lies in 3 principles: mind, consciousness, and thought. And those 3 principles are the principles that we use to see creation. The second you're born, you're in it. You're using mind, consciousness, and thought to see reality. Now we're going to go deeper than the Freudian, deeper than what we know. We've got to go deeper, not to the personal mind, not the ego mind, not the ego consciousness, not the ego thoughts. You have to go deeper. Because when you use your personal mind, personal consciousness, and personal thought, what you're doing, you're seeing creation after form. And this is where the Freudian thing innocently, and I'm going to keep saying this, innocently didn't know. They were looking at what was created instead of what was creating. So we have to go deeper. And you look for divine mind, divine consciousness, and divine thought before the formation of the reality that we now live in. There lies the answer. There lies the answer to the true nature of mind. And that's what you look for. The true nature of mind, the true nature of thought. You look for that. And if you can find the true nature of mind, conscious, and thought, you'll free yourself for the rest of your life. You'll take yourself into mental health and you'll stay there because you'll start to realize all it is thought. Every bit of anger you have, every bit of jealousy you have, every bit of emotional despair that you have is all created from the personal mind. And when you go beyond the personal mind, you find the secret to life. You're using those three principles right now to look at me. You're using the three principles to try and understand what's being said. You can't get away from the three principles. Can't get away from it. The only thing is you don't know you're using it. And nobody's ever told you before. But everybody in this hall, literally everybody, is sitting in the middle of mental health. Everybody in the mental institute is sitting in the middle of mental health. But they don't know it because their own personal minds have led them astray. And if you feel yourself going astray and going down low, getting depressed, try and look and see all it is. You've had a change in thought. And people will say to me, "Oh, Sid, you don't realize it's not that simple." It is that simple. It's the simplicity that throws people because you try and figure it out with your little mind. And that's one of the tricks in life. The good Lord brought us into this world, gave us three principles to work from and a free will, and said, "Go find yourself." So you look all over the world. You look outside looking for yourself. And you never find it until you look in the mirror. And when you look in the mirror, you'll find one of the wisest people on earth if you can take your personal thoughts away. And that's what we're here for this weekend, to try and take your personal thoughts away, to go beyond it and find that incredible power that lies within yourself. This is why all the sages throughout time, all the wise, have always said, look within for the answer. And you say, okay, I'll do that. Now, where will we go first? You missed it. It's always inside you, always. It's your birthright to find this. And I was lucky enough, 29 years ago, within a couple of seconds to realize the simplicity. All I realized was the true meaning of God. That's all, nothing else. The true meaning of God. The second I realized that, automatically, I found the true nature of mind. And automatically, I found the true nature of thought. Because they are the trinity of all psychological experience here on earth. And I thought, wow, I have to tell a psychologist this, and he'll find a secret, and he'll find all this mental health for his patients. But it didn't work out that way. After 29 years, I'm still struggling, trying to get them to see it. And when I first had this, I thought to myself, I'd love it to go to the universities where it belongs. And I went from one university to the other, and nobody could see it. Then something mysterious started to happen. Ordinary people that were in mental hospitals, people that were under prescribed drugs just to make them cope for life, they would come to the house. Then suddenly, just like that, their eyes would open up and they would say, "Got it! I don't need a doctor anymore." And they would go back to their therapist and say, thank you for all the help you've given me, but I don't need you anymore." And the therapist would say, wait a minute. What are you talking about? They'll say, well, all I realized was it was my own thoughts that was creating my problem. And the therapist would say, no, it's a lot worse than that. Then the next thing you know, the ordinary person would be consulting the doctor. And I thought, well, if this is the way it has to go, this is the way it'll go. So people from all over the world started to come. And they all started to pick it up. And they jumped the boundaries of time and found what they were looking for. Instead of going through a process, go from this person to that person, this place to that place, this idea from another idea, they found it now. That's why the wise from the beginning of time have always told you the most important thing in this world is to live in the now. Because if you live in the now, you're not living in the past, you're not living in the future, you're living now. You're living in an uncontaminated version of life. Now, instead of taking years to get to this stage, they found it in an instant. They tell me it takes years and years to find mental health. That's not true. You're looking for one magical thought. And if you can find that one magical thought, you're free. You really are. You're free for life. And honestly, all it is love and understanding. That's what they're giving away. And the people react when they find love and understanding. Because that's why a lot of them went astray in the first place. Because they lacked it. And they blamed their parents. They blamed their past. And this is the big problem. We believe that, and it's true, to one stage. One stage in life, when you were a child, you go through all those experiences, whether they be good or bad, and this creates your character. And you carry it through life. But that's not where the cure is in the past. The cure's now. Because when you look really carefully, think about it. Does the past really exist? Or is it in your head? Does the future really exist? Or is it in your head? The past no longer exists. The future doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is now. And if you can see that, what it does, it drops all those horrible feelings or experiences you've gone through. It drops them. And it cleans the slate, cleans your mind, and you see with clarity now. Again, I say, this is why all the wise from the past have always told you to come back to the now. That's all that exists. You see, there's nothing you can do by thinking about the negative. There really isn't. It just gets you in trouble. And if you realize it's all thought, you come back to the positive, then you do something positive. Believe me, if anybody in this world realizes the true nature of thought, they are automatically enlightened. If anybody realizes the true nature of mind, they're automatically enlightened. And if anybody realizes the true nature of consciousness, they're automatically enlightened. Because all three are the same thing with different words, and words are trying to explain the unexplainable. Because what I'm saying to you now is not the truth. It's the echo of the truth. Because the second it comes out your mouth, it comes from the very essence of your soul, because your soul is pure consciousness. It comes out, and as soon as it reaches this physical reality, it is no longer truth. It's the echo of truth. And when you talk truth, or you talk true knowledge, whatever you want to call it, it's only the echo. It is not truth. Truth can only be found one place and one place only, and that is deep within your own soul. It's inside. It's always been there. And when you start to explain it, you're explaining in metaphor. It's a metaphor. Everything I've said today is a metaphor. You look at your own Bible, whatever it may be, it's all metaphors. And we take the metaphors as gospel and we get lost. Now, a lot of people get upset at me if they're religious people, because I am not a religious person. I never will be. Spiritual, yes. Spiritual is before the form, before creation. And if you can talk before form, you're talking to every human soul in the world. Somebody says to me, there's no one thing in the world can help everybody. They don't know what they're talking about. Because as I said before, the three principles are before form. They're divine gifts that enable us to see life. How you use them is up to you, because you have a free will. And somebody says, no, I don't have a free will. Maybe you have, but I don't. They're arguing. Why are they arguing? What are they using? Their free will. They're using their free will to argue. And they're using the free principles to argue with. You can't get away from it. The three principles aren't out there. They aren't up in heaven. They aren't out. The three principles are, you're shrouded with them. Everything you see is the three principles in action. You look out there, you see the ocean, you see the trees. That's the three principles in action. But those trees and that ocean and everything else, the sky, would not be there if you didn't have a free will and the three principles. You take away your thought, take away thought, there'd be nothing. Nothing. you wouldn't even exist. Take away your consciousness, nothing would exist. Take away your mind, nothing would exist. Now remember, what I'm talking about is not a Freudian mind. I'm talking about divine mind. And you are divine mind. You know that saying, I am what I seek? That's what I'm talking about. You are what you seek. All words meaning one thing, and that's that great oneness. And that great oneness is the form and the form, the form and the formless together. Can you put the form and the formless together? You have the allness. Now, I'll let you in a little secret. If you don't understand what's being said, great. You're looking for a feeling. It's when people say, I know what you're talking about. Mind, consciousness, and thought. Well, that's simple. There's only three things. Like Susie said to me once, when she was a little girl, she wanted to play an instrument. And she looked at all these different instruments. The piano, it had all these keys. Oh, that's difficult. An accordion, that's difficult. Banjo, that's difficult. And she thought, the violin, it's only got 3 strings. That's easy. But it isn't. It's one of the most difficult things in the world. Until you realize what they mean. And mind, consciousness, and thought, I'm going to keep saying that, is what you're looking for. You could get a 4-year-old child and say to them, repeat after me. The secret lies in mind, consciousness, and thought. Within a minute, they would have it, but they wouldn't have the secret. So the grown-up comes and says, well, I can do it, mind, consciousness, and thought. And they go around spreading mind, consciousness, and thought, and they're spreading it with their old knowledge. When you find true knowledge, the old has a sudden death. It dies immediately. It's of no value. Everything has come from your little mind, your little consciousness, your little thought system, just vanishes. And when that vanishes, it's like that window. If I get up and put scratches all over that window, got 1,000 scratches on it, you can barely see through it. And each scratch represents wrongful thinking. Now, when you start to realize mind, consciousness, and thought, bit by bit, those scratches disappear. Then you start seeing with clarity. Because you're uncontaminating your own mind. And that's the idea. Now, if anybody takes you back into the past, you know what they're doing? They're saying, can you see through that window? And say, no. Then they put a whole bunch of scratches on it from the past and say, can you see now? No. Oh, great. Come back tomorrow and we'll have another session. That doesn't make sense. But it's all done innocently. And you have to remember that. It's all done innocently. And if you can use those 3 principles, not just for yourself, but for everybody, because the more help you can give to humanity, the more help you bring to yourself. You know that saying, to give is to receive? When I'm giving you this, I'm filling up so much I can hardly talk. Because I'm giving away something that I know will help you through life. And when you go home, you'll give it to your children. You give it to your children, they pick it up, they go to school, And instead of being little tyrants, there's something happens to them. They go to school, they find new friends. They give it away. And it's like a chain letter. It just keeps going. I've seen people change so fast, even in an audience. You look around and you see somebody's face. It's all drawn and worried. And you look around and you think, well, where did that person go? And they're sitting smiling. They're happy. And they come up and tell you later on, they've never felt like this in their life before. You meet them 6 months later, you don't even know them, and they'll say, do you remember me? I'll say, no, I'm sorry, who are you? Well, I'm the lady that, and they explain who they are. Because once you realize that you never go back, once your consciousness has taken a jump, once it's risen, you never go back. You might temporarily fall into it, but you say to yourself, wait a minute, I don't like this. This is my thoughts. It's gone again. Then you're back into sanity. And you might not hear it. And later on, you might be having a bath. You might be walking down the street. You might just be sitting. And all of a sudden, bingo, you say, got it. Your life will never be the same. It's a sudden, because you get an insight. That's why those people throughout the ages have always talked about an insight. Look within. Look inside for the answer. An insight. Look inside. An insight. It's a sight from within. And that's where wisdom comes from. Because you bypassed your little mind, your little consciousness, your little thought system. You've gone deep into your soul, where the purity of thought, purity of consciousness, purity of mind exists. You tap into it and you go, oh, now I know what it means. I know what she was saying or he was saying. And you turn around to your friend and you say, you know something? I just realized you could talk till hell freezes over. If they're not ready, they won't hear you. Because you're only calling the echo of what you found. You can't explain it. I'm not explaining it right now. I'm trying, but I'm not explaining it. It's up to you. Always up to you. There's a million stories go with this. A lot of funny ones, a lot of sad ones, but mostly funny. Comical ones. And I know it's a little bit fearsome for somebody that's been trained for many, many years on a certain thing to find out that all their training was in vain. I know that. I'm not stupid. But that one insight be worth 10 times, 100 times all the training put together. And that's what some of you people here have realized. That your training you had was of no value. And it frightened the living dickens out of you. Many of you here have told me. But what you find to replace it is so far beyond, you don't want it anymore. It's like saying your bad memories. I don't want to lose my bad memories because I worked for them. I went through hell with all these bad experiences and memories, and you're going to take them away from me? I don't want that. I just want to be happy. Well, how are you going to be happy if you're hanging on to the old? You've got to throw it away and find a new. And when you find a new, you've got it. So if anybody ever starts taking you back into the past, my advice is walk out. and see that person is lost. See them as innocent. Don't get angry, just see them as lost and walk away. And if you want help, look for somebody that's positive. I once had a lady come to me, and she'd been married 5 times. She was married 5 times. And each time she got a divorce. You know what her job was? A marriage counselor. A trained marriage counselor. And I said to her, well, look, there's something wrong here. And we started to discuss it. And there was 3 others with her, and they said, well, you know, we were taught at school the mental health of the practitioner is immaterial if they stick to their training. Now, if their training was right, they wouldn't be in that position. You can only give away what you have. If I go in my wallet now and I have a $20 bill, I can't give you 50. And if I'm an unhappy person, all I can give you is unhappiness. I can tell you how I became unhappy, that's no problem. But I can't tell you how to be happy. So always look for a positive person. Look for somebody that's, if you go for a marriage counseling, and the marriage counselor is and has big problems at home, I would really think about it. So, it's all logic. You're looking for logic. You're looking for simplicity. So, should we just take a little break just now and just discuss with each other whatever you want? So, thank you.
It was really a very great talk from Sydney Banks, as you have heard, and majorly I picked some good points, as he mentioned about Miller, how we don't really see how best we can help ourselves. You have your mirror, you look in a mirror, but you realize you are not the one. So you still think you are not the one, and you are seeing yourself in the mirror. So that is really so much important. I've seen it, and also mentioned about like past does not exist, and this has been happening majorly here in Nakivale. For people leaving their home areas, coming into Nakivale here as refugees, but they really think they are refugees. They really sleep in Uganda, but their minds are in their home areas, thinking about what they left there, think about the friends who lost their lives. Now, that brings a lot of suffering into them because they are really considering past and not living in now, but always not understanding that thought can be cleaned away from their mind and they live positive. So it was really important talk from Sydney Banks, and I hope many have learned from it. So maybe Sylvia, if you have something to share, you can also share a bit.
Yeah, thank you so much, Philip. I also have something to share according to the video of Sydney Bank. He says that, I had said this before anyway. He says that the answer lies within you. Yes, the answer lies within you. So you don't have to look for answers somewhere else. You have the answers within you. And then he tells us again that we live the three principles, just that we did not know. We always lived the three principles, just that we did not know. Something else I learned from this video is he talked about the more you share the three principles, you are helping yourself so much that you cannot even know. Like, the more you want other people to learn the three P's, you are just helping yourself, because the three P's encourage us to live a happy life, to live the life of now, not in the future, not in the past, a now life. Yes. And then if people are living a now life and they are living a happy life, then you're also going to be happy, because there will be no chaoses, there will be no negativity, there will be no hatred. People will be okay, and then you will also be okay. Yeah. So I also learned that from him. So, Philip, that is what I learned from that video.
Yeah.
I know even other people have learned so many things. If we finish them all, others won't have something to say.
All right. Thank you, Sylvia.
Thank
And also, he mentioned that when we are sharing to help others. But in the long run, you find we are helping ourselves, because if we are sharing good feeling, then it will also be back to us. And you are sharing positivity, so you also have to get a good feeling, because what you are sharing is really you are feeling, you are sharing your best feeling, so it is helping another person, but still you are helping yourself. So it is really very good. Maybe if Wandera you are there, you can also share to us about how important you have seen CDP and seed banks.
Yeah, thank you, Philip, and everyone. I think, yeah, it was so educative, but to my end is many times when we seek for support, one of the things he stressed is that you don't need to go to a person who is living in the past. That person may not help you. When you are seeking for help, you need to go to a positive person, a person who can help you. So every time, what I learned is every time you seek support or you go to people who are thinking negatively, they will even divert you to think more negatively. So when you want hope, look for people who think positively, who can challenge you and inspire you the more. And when he was giving example of the marriage counselor who is having a lot of divorce, and you're like, okay, ideally you cannot offer what you don't have. If a marriage counselor can divorce 5 times, then how can he help these marriage couples? So to me, as a teacher of 3 Ps, like every time I have to examine myself and ready and willing to offer that I have, the fruits that are coming from me should be examples to help other people grow in 3 Ps. Thanks, Philip, and over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Joseph. And also I would like to mention that as we are seeing the importance of seed bank sleep in Africa, we should also remember that we are having some other important teachers like Harry Dabeske, like Jim Beck, Sharia, Dr. Deacon. There are many. So we are seeing this importance of student banks, but also need to keep in mind that with all these, we have been able also to uncover what has been covering us with the help of also these important teachers. So I think we're almost wrapping the show. Maybe Sylvia, if you have 1, 2, 3 words, then we can wrap it.
Yeah, I don't, if David or Gavin have just 2 words to say, something small about this topic, if at all any of them has something. Gavin or David, do you have anything before we wrap up, please, about the topic of the day? Okay, I don't think they are together with us. Okay, so
Yeah.
let us wrap it up here. So as we are, today's topic is the importance of seeding bank, whom we call seed in the 3P in Africa. So it teaches us, like we have had the teaching, Philip has got, Joseph has got, I have got. We just have to keep following the footsteps, you know, like right now, like we are disciples, you know. He discipled those of Jim Beck, Harry Debisky, Sheira, Dr. Dickens, and others. So they also discipled us, and they're sharing it, they're expanding it, and it's becoming a better world. With 3Ps, it's a better world because there is no harm in it. People are enjoying it, and people are living a free life, a life of now, which with no negativity, you know, with no worries, with no panic, with no hatred. People are just trying to live a happy life, enjoy their moments that they have, to enjoy every moment of every second of their families and everyone around them, you know, to encourage others to live a happy life. You know, so we just have to follow the footsteps, always have a positive mind ahead of us. Don't think about the future or the past. Just live the present. Just live the present, the now life. Just keep moving on your life and enjoying your life as you're supposed to enjoy it. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us today and learning about seeding banks as he discovered the 3Ps that are helping us everywhere, and they're helping us enjoy life. So just please keep following the footsteps, keep loving the 3Ps, and keep sharing it. Don't keep it to yourself. Share with everyone you find the 3Ps. Let them also be happy as you are. And don't forget to check on us. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. Just go and log in the 3P in Africa, or 3P African Educators. Please, you'll get us. We are always there. So we love you so much, and don't forget to fly. When I say fly, is first love yourself, and then after flying, and you go low, you love others. Wish you the best until next time. Bye bye.